Hello, thank you all so much for coming tonight. Or this afternoon. I've always wondered, is 5 o'clock evening yet, or is it still afternoon? Late afternoon, early evening. Thank you for being here.
Daytime.
Daytime, yes. So my name is Alex Carter. I wrote and directed the show that you're about to see, which is based on my own life experiences with chronic illness and going half blind after an acute medical trauma. So 10 years ago, exactly 10 years ago, I went into the hospital after having an allergic reaction from a prescription medication that I was taking for my rheumatoid arthritis. Now, the medication that I happened to be on was called Areva. So, have anybody talking about anti-rheumatic drugs, you hear that term, be like, maybe not so much. So it can happen and usually happens from much more common prescriptions and even over-the-counter drugs like ibuprofen. So part of this for me is shining a spotlight onto the community of people with chronic illness and also complications that can happen with various medications or other health issues. So 10 years ago, when I went into the hospital with this allergic reaction, my whole life turned upside down. I lost 85% of my skin. There was scarring on my eyelids that scratched off the protective layer of my eyes. I lost 30 pounds in 31 days, which don't already have that much to lose, so it wasn't that great. I had a lot of people being like, well, that sounds like you went to a spa day. You lost 30 pounds, you lost a good deal of your skin. It's like a chemical peel, right? No, it's not. Anyway, so from May 13th through June 12th of 2008, I was in the hospital, and when I got out, looking in the mirror was like a nightmare all over again. First, I could barely see the mirror, so it was kind of hard to recognize the face to begin with. And within a year, I would lose almost my entire sight. I would be legally blind in my right eye and would have to have constant surgeries in my left eye to keep my vision. My tear ducts are no longer fully functional, so I'm usually carrying around multiple types of eye drops. And then, secondly, the face in the mirror was gaunt. The lips were completely black from scabs. My eyes were entirely bloodshot. My hair was coming out in chunks from the trauma. My fingernails were peeling off. The face in the mirror was a monster. And so exactly 3 years after the hospital, 7 years ago, I sat down on the night before I was scheduled for the first surgery with the potential to give me back my full sight. And I wrote the first post in a blog I called Sudden Sight. I've spent the past 3 years since the hospital trying to adjust, trying to feel whole again. But all I've ever felt is broken.
No matter what I try, there was always this lingering feeling in the back of my mind that I would always be broken, that no one would ever love me again.
Until someone did. Slowly, I began to see myself becoming whole again. Slowly, I began having new things of interest, new plans, new goals.
But still, I looked in the mirror and did not recognize the person looking back at me. With each surgery, there was a new face. I started losing my hair, gaining weight, breaking out. I stopped looking in the mirror altogether.
I pushed myself in school and in work, anything to keep me from having to deal with the pain and grief that was quickly creeping back into my life.
I pushed until I broke, until it all fell apart again.
Until everything went back upside down and all that was left was
The
face in the mirror.
3 years moving upward, 1 month to tear it all back down again.
Maybe tomorrow's eye surgery will fix everything. Maybe you'll get your vision back. Maybe you'll see this whole world, this past month of hell, in a whole new light.
Or maybe it'll all turn to shit.
Can we please take a step back away from crazy town?
Yes, let's go back and give everyone here the full story.
Wait, the full story?
Well, our version. Anyways.
I'm completely serious, Jessica. trying to escape the cage.
I remember this story. He said, now think about a tiger in a cage. If the tiger was born in the cage, then that's all he's ever known. He's perfectly happy in the cage because he doesn't know what life is like beyond it.
They're not talking about the zoo.
But if the tiger gets out of the cage...
I can't picture your dad saying that. I mean, he and Olivia have been together for how long? And they've never...
No.
Just do it already.
Oh, it gets me every time.
Right. I mean, like, I get that it's his religion and I respect that, but at some point
She got at least the time.
Seriously though, it's like they're already married. It's been forever.
5 years.
It's been a while.
When's the wedding?
3 weeks.
I thought your eye surgery was there.
Ugh, don't remind me.
And finals are week after next.
Ugh, don't remind me.
Damn, Maxie.
Tell us about it.
Well, how are you doing with all of this? Me? I'll be fine.
Totally fine.
Oh yeah, really aiming close to being all right.
Yeah, the wine helps.
Oh yeah.
Shouldn't the guys be back by now?
Jacob the Viking slay savage beats a beast to feed woman.
Samurai Ethan, bring many breadsticks of holy garlic and cheese.
One of those better be a veggie pizza beast.
You're not gonna look that easy.
Seriously.
We're fine.
I'm gonna go find some plates.
Get the paper plates from the pantry. Thank you guys for coming and bringing food and giving me a break. It's been crazy. I was just telling Jessica the next couple weeks are gonna be insane, so it really helps. Oh, the paper plates?
I couldn't find the paper plates.
They're in the pantry, I told you. Try echolocation. I was telling Jake about the worst case scenarios with the eye surgery, and he said that I should learn echolocation like a bat. I was being sarcastic. Anyway, thank you for letting me in the other night. I can't believe that I left my computer in Jake's bedroom again.
You know, I feel like we've talked about this before.
Well, I work right around the corner. It was really no problem.
Still?
We've had this conversation, what, 20 times?
You practically live with us half the week. I don't know why Jake doesn't just give you a key.
That makes 2 of us.
3 of us.
4 of us.
I'm Batman.
I can't see any or hear any.
Are you serious, God? I will be right back.
Okay, that shit's hard.
I'm Batman! Was the key thing a sore subject?
Big time.
Well, remind me not to tell Max that I said Jake should give her a key weeks ago.
Remind me to tell you about Max's dad's tiger.
What?
Okay, there are no paper plates.
Jacob the Viking is victorious.
Jacob the Viking is annoying.
Like I said, echolocation.
You see what I put up with?
Okay, wait. Your dad is a tiger?
I didn't used to have all these health problems, arthritis, visual impairment. 3 years ago, I actually was fine. Healthy. Pretty.
Modest.
I was going through all the usual adolescent angst. I left my home in Atlanta
ATL!
and moved to Ohio to study theater against the advice of my entire family.
Cliche, but it's the truth. I thought my family would always be on my side, but when I made the decision to go, it was like a war broke out. No one was on my side, but still, I went.
And when I got to school, what with all the stress, the 8 a.m. dance calls, the lack of sleep, proper nutrition, and emotional support, I began having joint pains.
There was one weekend where the only thing that I ate was a box of Oreos. My poop turned black.
But I was happy. I was doing what I loved.
By January, I could barely move.
Lifting a glass of water became a feat of epic proportions, shadowed only by my desperate and growing fear of stairs.
Well, you know how I feel about it. The lower cut, the better.
I'm standing at my father's wedding, and there might be hot guys there who will all be my family members.
What, no cute third cousins?
Okay, I may have grown up in Georgia, but I grew up in Atlanta.
ATL!
Okay, that's getting old.
In Ohio, I started seeing doctors and trying medication. I was in pain, but I was starting to get cast in shows. I was living my dream.
Come on, your boobs look fantastic in this one.
Yeah, that's because the steroids have me blown like a balloon animal.
Then one day it was just over.
Yeah, well, you're being ridiculous. You're beautiful. You're just blind, so you can't see it.
Ha! Blind certainly was part of it.
Oh, come on, this is the dress.
Fine, it's the dress.
Do it, sexy sarcasm. Watch out.
But then there were also the ulcers.
I'm gonna have to hem the bust line so my boobs don't stick out.
Up in all my mucous membranes.
Boo! All right, now sit your ass down. We have a conversation to finish from the other night.
I was hoping you would forget about that.
And the blisters. Don't forget all the blisters.
All right, Spill, what's bugging you?
Nothing. Everything.
I spent 11 hours puking my guts out before I finally agreed to go to the emergency room.
I just feel like everything's turned upside down with the wedding and the surgery and Jake.
With the wedding? I thought you and Olivia were getting along.
We are, sort of. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
My boyfriend at the time, Topher, took me to the hospital.
She can be hard to read, but I think she finally figured out that I'm a basically nice person who's not spending every moment plotting her demise.
Progress.
Yeah.
I kept telling everyone that I couldn't be late to another ballet class, otherwise, my grade would drop.
She has even been subtly encouraging me to write.
I was chronically late to class, but really, who schedules ballet class at 8 a.m.?
Everybody.
It's just, my dad always wanted a son, and now he's gonna have a stepson. And he always wanted me to be involved in real sports, because I guess dance and drama aren't athletic enough.
The nurse at the front desk didn't even look up when I walked in.
Now, Grant, Olivia's son, he bikes and he swims and they go biking on the weekends.
Name, she said, social. Then she did look up at me and immediately began admitting me into the hospital.
I guess bloodshot eyes and blisters pouring out of your mouth are the ticket to timely service in the ER.
Twice a year at least, they go and visit my grandparents in West Virginia. I don't find out about it until the last minute, if at all, and it's not like I can drive myself.
I remember my mom called right as I was signing into the emergency room, so Topher had to answer the phone.
Hi Laura. We're in the emergency room.
I practically once said everything's okay, Mom! Except it wasn't.
It's just that, I don't know, I feel like my dad has this whole new family and I don't fit it.
Max, who's your dad? You always fit his family.
She could hear it in my voice. I hesitated before I answered.
Will I?
I think everything's okay. She booked her flight for that afternoon.
It's just weird, because now with the surgery, they're not even having a real honeymoon. They're just going away for the weekend, and then my dad has to fly out to Miami. So now when he's spending time with me, it's an inconvenience.
You're joking, right?
My mom was there for the first and last week of my month in the hospital, and my dad the 2 weeks in between. I moved to Ohio to follow my dreams. And when it all fell apart, my family were the ones to come and pick up the pieces.
Max, your dad loves you, okay? He wouldn't be going with you if he didn't want you in his family. You are his family. And I don't care who he marries or what her kid is like. You're his daughter.
I remember the way Topher looked at me when they were putting in the IV for the morphine drip. Like I was so fragile.
I know. I hated him for it. Logically, I know, you're right. It's just, it's hard sometimes.
A dark cloud brewed a pretty storm. One wish to quench a thirst.
What am I blabbing about?
A droplet fell to kiss the earth, and in a moment burst.
Your family basically wrote the book on dysfunction.
Well, not all of them.
With a crack went forth a bolt, low rumbles foretold rain.
Some of the Connors are illiterate.
Touche.
The sky alight with shiny jewels, such beauty and such pain.
Look, just because your mom never nailed you with the paint can while she was on a bender,
The clouds together shook and sobbed, the earth lay steeped in mud.
it doesn't mean you can't feel a little weird about your family sometimes.
Thanks.
In fear the sun might not return, the rivers gushed like blood.
Well, that's the wedding, so what about the surgery and Jake?
Fuck the surgery.
In hazy gloom, a fog emerged to choke the air in mist.
I keep trying to forget about it and it keeps being there like a freight train.
A violent war consumed the day.
Now, the insurance company has stopped paying for my RA treatments.
Seriously?
All once the earth was kissed.
Yeah, paying for them for 2 months and then suddenly poof, not paying for them. And these things are like $3 grand every 8 weeks.
Damn, they are proud of their juice.
Yeah, they are. And now Jake and I are fighting because I've been so stressed out. Not that it's not partially his fault. He avoids confrontation like an unwanted pregnancy. We got in a huge fight the other day over whose side of the bed was less comfortable. Who does that?
People who need a new mattress.
Well, he definitely needs a new mattress. But, I don't know. We haven't even seen each other since we all hung out the other day. And we're supposed to hang out tomorrow and have dinner, but I don't even know if we're gonna have dinner because we haven't talked and the silence is just driving me crazy.
I'm sure it'll be okay. You guys have fought before.
Yeah, not like this though, Jess. It's like he's already partly gone. And I can't even think about that right now with everything going on.
Yeah, I know you have been stressed a lot lately. Well, worried about Jake is something you don't need right now. Space is probably good. One more day would be great for both of you.
I hope so.
Love. Nothing more than an addiction of the soul. A hand to hold when toes can only scrape the distant floor. A noose that tickles like a collar lined with lace.
A warm embrace, the taste of death, the rush of life the same.
An itch begging for the fingertips to catch. You cannot scratch it fast enough to keep from needing more.
A pulse so strong but falters at a touch and wavers much, a lush that sinks amiss to the shifting game.
A kiss, the currency that fuels the lover's fire.
A caged desire. A liar giving promise not to claim.
The gift of future dreams, past ones left behind.
The chosen blind. A kind of veil that offers life a shroud of love. The soul is found by youth and rushing fools. A jagged tool is cruel.
Or kind.
Depends who holds the chains.
A wish for wisdom not to fall like drops of rain to cool the pain that came.
For scars are sweet.
And fire proud.
Dinner was nice.
Yeah.
I missed you this week, Jake.
Maybe we should sit down.
I think I'll stand.
Please.
Look, I know that I said that we needed time apart.
This isn't gonna work out.
What's not gonna work out? The time apart?
We aren't gonna work out.
The first week in the hospital was the worst.
You're kidding, right?
But I don't remember most of it. After passing out from the pain of trying to pee through ulcers, they put me on a steady drip of narcotics.
This is your captain speaking. We are currently traversing the intergalactic morphine highway.
I'm sorry, Max.
To your left, you will see an array of Disney villains preparing for an epic space battle.
Jake, what are you saying?
Followed shortly by afternoon tea.
I'm saying
with the one and only Darth Vader himself.
I'm sorry, but we're not gonna work out.
Please be certain not to upset Lord Vader, as the intubation tube may not hold up under pressure.
I know that we fought last week, and
I don't remember when Topher left. My mom said he stayed as long as he could.
but the space was good for us because it made me realize how much I love being around you and want you in my life.
He had just graduated from college. He's taking a Mediterranean cruise. He wanted to stay, but I needed him to go.
I love you, and I know that you love me too.
I'm sorry, Max.
It's still such a blur. My mom went home for work and my dad came to stay with me.
Jake, please.
He barely left my side.
I'm really sorry.
I'm really sorry that I had to ask my super Christian father to call my work and tell him that I wouldn't be at my shift as a cocktail waitress at a strip club.
No, you can't be saying this.
It was a third-year dermatology resident who diagnosed me. I was coming into the hospital as he was nearing the end of his shift. Stephen Johnson syndrome, or, as we would find out in my severe case, toxic epidermal necrolysis.
We can work through this. I know we can because we're good. This
SJS kills off the cells that hold your epidermis, those top layers of skin, to your dermis.
This is good.
I'm sorry.
No.
The top layers of your skin start to blister and then the whole thing just starts to melt right off.
We're not done here.
Most people have maybe 10% of their bodies affected.
Max, please.
Or even up to 30%.
You can't do this to me, not now.
Maxine!
Jacob! Thought we know each other's names. But I was never one to do anything on a small scale. It takes two people to enter a relationship and it should take two people to end it, and I'm not ready to end this.
I lost 85% of my skin.
That's not how this works! Sorry.
Sorry?
They treated me like a burn victim.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Every day nurses came off to take away dead sections of my skin, leaving it raw and exposed like an open wound.
What exactly are you sorry for?
I lay nearly naked that first week.
For breaking my heart, for wasting nearly 2 years of my life.
Even having a thin sheet on me felt like being stabbed by 1,000 tiny knives that slid over the new skin.
Or for being such a fucking coward.
Sorry.
When I needed to be moved, a lift team came in to make it easier.
You're just sorry.
But one day things got mixed up. I got back to my room after another failed intubation attempt, and the lift team wasn't there.
Is that all you can fucking say? I'm sorry?
The volunteers decided that they could just move me themselves.
You know, I'm never gonna make you happy!
What the hell does that mean?
No, I tell them, soft but firm. It's not the time. It's not the place.
It's just that I'm sorry, okay?
No, I say with great resolve. No expression, steady face.
You're not sorry. You're just a scared little boy who can't give his girlfriend of 2 years a fucking key.
They wheeled me up and now back down to wait.
Ethan wasn't comfortable with you having a key.
No, I tell them, eyes squeezed shut to block the lights against the pane.
Ethan asked me 5 days ago why you hadn't given me a key.
No, I say, while all alone, my words aren't heard, my wishes lame.
Sorry.
They did their job, and now they will not wait.
So now you're lying to me.
No, I plead the tears begin to shift an inch would be to die.
About how long has that been going on?
No, I scream, my lips they bleed. We need to go is his reply.
It hasn't!
The doctors told them not to move me. Wait!
I don't even know what to say to that.
Now he tells her up, then over, onto the bed they slide me.
Grow up, Jake.
No, I screech like stabbing knives against the sheets. My new skin seeps.
Grow up or die alone in Ethan's basement.
Ethan doesn't even have a basement.
Oh yeah, Ethan will have a basement. He'll have a house and a family and a life. And what will you have? A set of fucking keys to yourself.
I curse their folly into the darkness. Just you wait.
As visions swirl inside my head, I feel alive, but mostly dead. Like autumn leaves so vivid and bright, but most of them won't last the night.
I hear a song from another world, like a song I think I've sung before, and as the song comes to a close, I chase it, wanting, needing more.
But like the leaves that fall at last, I know I can't relive my past. The visions I once saw and dreamed can never be what once they seemed.
And soon I know.
And soon I feel.
Soon I realize, soon I see.
The spring that I recall so well was never there.
Nor meant to be.
So, giving in at last, I know the colors of fall must find the snow.
But will another spring arise?
Or might I find life in winter's demise?
The first time I saw myself in the mirror at the hospital was daunting.
Really? We're already back here again?
That was fast.
Shush! I had made jokes upon my arrival about my swollen, blistered lips and bloodshot eyes, but 3 weeks later, as I was actually able to see my reflection, I was...
Even now, it's difficult describing that feeling. Crestfallen, disappointed, horrified, yes, and no.
Mostly I just didn't recognize the person looking back at me from the mirror.
Tomorrow, we remove the bandages over my right eye, but only time will tell if I'll actually be able to see out of it again. The thing is, now that I've finally gotten used to this face in the mirror, what will the next one look like?
Who's it? Girl, you know my knock. Come in.
Hey there, pretty lady. Just thought I'd stop by when I go from work, see how you doing.
More like a mummy lady. If I knew I was gonna have company, I would have done my hair.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to see you're in good spirits. Actually, I am surprised to see you at all. Where is your dad?
Pharmacy, more pain pills.
Okay, well, there's an upside to this after all.
If you've ever been in the hospital, then you know the sheer and utter relief of getting out.
How long do you have to keep your IV in?
After 30 days locked in a room with shitty food and a catheter, being poked and prodded every couple of hours.
Just until tomorrow.
Putting on your own clothes, stepping into fresh air is like eating ice cream after a long and brutal diet.
I'll go to the regular doctor and then he'll take it off.
Gotcha.
My mom and I drove all night to get back to Georgia. I didn't know it would be the last time I'd see Ohio or the friends I made there. The last time I'd hold hope of living my life on stage.
Well, will you be able to see them? I mean, is it that fast?
I got up this morning. Where's the prize for that?
They say it takes about 3 weeks for the inflammation to go down.
I put on socks that didn't match, brushed my hair and washed my face.
You know, before they know whether I'll actually be able to see out of my right eye or not.
I even thought to rinse with mouthwash.
But my body doesn't seem to like to take the easy way out.
I got up this morning. Can't you be pleased with that?
I give it about a month.
I tried to eat a bit of toast.
Drank some juice and didn't puke.
I ventured to the sofa.
Oh, shoot, I should be moved by then. The house goes on the market next week.
Oh, that was fast. Do you need help packing?
I got up this morning.
What did I do to deserve you?
You don't.
Oh, right.
It's not that I'm a quitter. It's not that I don't try. It's just that I don't know when I need to say goodbye.
Actually, I'm pretty much only offering out of guilt.
I don't know how to say no. I want to show I care. Then suddenly I break down.
Ethan asked me to move in.
It's like nothing's even there.
That's great. Why would you feel guilty about that?
Well, then I'd be living with Jake also, and after everything that's been going on between you two.
That, right.
When we got back to Georgia, my grandma took one look at my face and burst into tears. It was a gaunt, splotchy face that only a mother could love.
But not Nana.
Is he? How is he?
Jake?
I got up this morning.
Okay, well, I guess he's okay. He was quiet those first few days. Oh, but then he went out with the guys over the weekend. I'm sorry. Probably didn't want to hear that.
No, it's fine.
I got up this morning.
I probably needed to hear it.
Well, I know the past few weeks haven't been easy for you, so was the wedding at least nice?
Yeah, it was nice. It was simple and sweet.
They say it's the thought that counts.
I was miserable.
They tell you just to try.
And then I felt bad for being miserable, which made me more miserable.
And when you take on all the world
I can imagine.
and fail.
I couldn't stop crying, or at least what my dry eyes pretend is crying.
They don't even ask you why.
At least you could pass them off as happy tears.
Exactly. But I think my grandma knew.
I got up this morning.
Still, I couldn't help but notice that they seemed happy. And so I have to believe that it's possible.
What, being happy?
Yeah. With or without someone else.
I sure as hell hope so.
I got up this morning. Where's the prize for that?
Well, if you don't mind my asking, how are you dealing with everything?
Percocet, breathe there in and breathe there out. Blinked my eyes and didn't cry.
No, I mean the emotional side of it.
Percocet?
My girl.
Oh, that's healthy.
I even tried to dream that I'd be more than this.
I actually started a blog.
Okay, see, that does sound healthy.
'Cause I am more than this.
It's called Sudden Sight. I talk about the surgery and the time in the hospital.
I got up this morning.
Oh wait, what time is it?
About 4. Why, do you need something? Should your dad be home by now?
I got up this morning.
Probably, but I think he was supposed to go to the grocery store. I don't remember.
It was months before I let it all sink in that I wouldn't be returning to school in the fall.
No. I need to call the insurance company.
I got up this morning.
I couldn't call from last week, and I won't be able to call tomorrow, and then it's the weekend.
Didn't you just have surgery like 2 days ago?
That I wouldn't be able to do things for myself for a while.
I think it can wait.
I think you've never had to pester an insurance company before. Right now, time is money, and, or lack thereof. Money for me means healing, so I have to call.
That I wouldn't even be able to live by myself for years to come.
Just really don't want to.
And in those years, there would be ups and downs.
If it were me, I'd wait till Monday. But I do remember you talking about how even before your surgery, they stopped paying for your RA treatments.
There would be mountains of hope.
And if what you said about needing to keep the inflammation down is true,
And deep valleys of depression.
then yeah, you need to call.
Drowned dreams.
I know. It's just difficult.
Oh, I believe in you.
Fuck off.
Seriously, I do. You're never gonna get this thing settled until you call them.
During recovery, the worst part of my day was waking up.
I know.
I had to avoid direct sunlight for the first 6 months to allow my skin to heal.
And you're never gonna stop feeling like a victim until you take your head out of your ass and face your bully.
But the new skin was soft and unblemished, free of sun damage and scars.
And with that, I'm gonna get on the road before the traffic gets bad.
Like a psychodermabrasion.
Call them.
No. I will.
The first hour of every day was like torture.
Good.
My eyes took so long to adjust, and they were constantly searing with pain.
See? Dialing.
Good.
The first half hour was spent trying to convince myself that the pain would lessen if I just opened my eyes and found a pain pill.
You can do this, Max. These are just customer service reps, not scary monsters.
The second half hour was spent back in bed waiting for the painkillers to kick in.
English.
But then I had the entire day to myself.
English.
I had the entire summer free to do anything I wanted.
Oh, shoot. Where's my insurance card?
I could practice my ballet lessons, learn to bake the perfect pie. I even let Topher off the hook, if you know what I mean.
She is all yours.
Well, so he wouldn't have to put up with all of this.
Hey, I can't read it. Operator.
I had lost nearly 30 pounds in the hospital, so I could eat whatever I wanted.
Yes.
And who needs a boyfriend when you have pie?
Customer service.
I started praying again.
Customer service.
I even started going to church.
Hi. Yes, I'm calling about service date April 15th.
Spirituality can be helpful during difficult times.
Wait, no, that doesn't make any sense.
I even started listening to Christian rock to help fill that pit in my heart.
Yeah, maybe we were watching a little too much television.
Yeah, too much Lifetime.
No, that can't be right because I have RAs, so that has to be covered.
I reclaimed my virginity.
What? Hang on.
For a couple months.
Look, I know this isn't within your control,
I saw all the best doctors.
and I'm not trying to be difficult,
We never watched soap operas before then.
but I do have RA, and you just said that Remicade,
I put in my eye drops on time.
the medication that you were just previously covering,
I took all the right pills with all the right foods.
is specifically for RA.
Every day.
Crash, shake, shatter, burst.
Okay, this is getting ridiculous.
Tiny shards of glass emerge.
I've tried methotrexate.
Twisting, breaking, falling down.
I've tried chemotherapy.
Turned to glitter with a sound.
I've even tried the medication that you take to keep you from rejecting organ transplants.
Crushed, beaten, torn apart.
And the one that you get cancer from if you don't pee enough, for God's sake.
Once so close, now thrown so far.
I didn't even kill myself when I wanted to.
Look, this is the only medication that has worked for me.
The pills were there. A brand new prescription with 30 tablets of painkillers. Bruised, bleeding skips a beat.
And I do have rheumatoid arthritis.
A word from you.
So I don't understand why
I cannot breathe.
your company refuses to pay for a medication specifically indicated for RA.
They were all there.
Crash, shake, shatter, burst.
In their perfect, sterile little orange bottle.
Tiny shards of glass emerged.
And I left them.
Twisting, breaking, falling down.
On the day that your company refuses to pay for my medication.
Turned to glitter with a sound.
It's a day that my inflammation gets worse.
Crushed, beaten, torn apart.
It's a day that my eyes get worse.
Once so close.
I walked upstairs.
Now thrown so far.
I hope.
Bruised, bleeding, skips a beat.
It's a day closer to blindness for me, so I would appreciate speaking with your supervisor.
A word from you.
I hope for strength.
I cannot breathe.
To keep getting up every day.
Crashed, twisting, crushed, bruised.
Fuck that! I refuse to be blind again!
The streets are clear. The sun is gone. The lights are bright. Ahead, I run.
All thoughts are gone. One goal in their place. All love is gone. I run.
Cold pavement, hot skin, wet clothes, dry eyes, thudding up from my soles to the skies. I run.
All alone, too?
Or from?
I don't know. Still, I run.
Trip and fall, down, down, down. Breathing stops. I bleed.
The tears don't come, no, not at first, until I turn my head. I see.
Well, I think that's the rest of it. Ugh. Thanks again. I'm sorry to ask you to help me move when I can't even lift anything heavy.
The world I left,
I can't believe it sold so fast.
and where I lie.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind, hasn't it?
A hole divides.
I weep.
Well, if that really is the last of it, I have a gift for you before Ethan and I head out.
You didn't have to do that. Why?
Well, originally I was going to wait until your eye fully healed, but it's already getting better, and I just couldn't wait any longer.
When did you get so sweet? Thank you.
Yeah, Jess says you started to be able to see faces again with your right eye.
Just up close and really blurry, but yeah, getting back on the RA treatments has helped.
What do you mean back on the, I missed something, clearly.
Remember what I told you about the insurance company?
Right, yes, that, yes. What ended up happening with all of that?
Oh, well, long story of many phone calls short. They had it coded correctly, but not the way the insurance company wanted them coded it. So I went to my doctor on Monday and he coded it correctly.
So it's fine.
Mm-hmm. You was healthcare in the Shannon and blah, blah, blah. Insurance sucks. You fixed it, though. So come on, open your present.
Man. See? These pictures of us.
Breath returns.
And this is from when we first became friends.
Life returns.
And that's from right before your surgery.
Love returns.
You didn't have to do that, thank you. Wait a minute. I look the same.
I run.
I look the same.
Home.
I mean, I know they're both me, but after the hospital, I thought that my face had completely changed, but now I can see that it's the same. I mean, my smile is the same, my cheekbones are the same, my eyes, even my eyes, I mean, they're red, more red now, but they're my eyes.
Whose eyes would they be?
I don't know, Ethan.
Deserve that?
Yeah, you did.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Love you.
Love you. See you soon?
Yes.
Thank you.
When I first moved in with my dad during the recovery process, there was one night that I'll always remember, here in this living room.
This story is my favorite.
I was up late one night with insomnia watching some stupid rom-com, and my dad came out of his bedroom to get a glass of water.
I'm pretty sure he was just checking up on me.
He could tell I was upset, so he asked me what was wrong. I told him I was fine, but he knew better. Max, he said.
I know you. And I know when something is bothering you. And I asked him,
How could anyone ever love me with a face like this?
He sat with me, and he held me for a moment. Then he told me,
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You can't tell how you look from the reflection in the mirror.
Mirrors distort things. Our own eyes distort things.
Instead, you have to look at yourself through the eyes of the people who love you.
Only then can you see what you truly look like.
And you, my wonderful daughter,
Are so very
Beautiful.
I have 3 sections of things to say next. The first one being, while this play ends at a particular point in my life where it did look like I was going to start getting sight back, it didn't happen. So for the past 7 years, I kind of stayed where this play ends health-wise until 2 weeks ago. So I had an eye surgery while we were rehearsing this play that has begun to give me back vision in my right eye. So I wanted to be able to share that with everyone here. The second thing is that I believe we've got 5 to 7 minutes. So if anyone wants to pull out their phones right now. Oh, I'm not saying vote for us, but if you feel
I'm saying vote for us.
Right now, vote your conscience.
I'll be your conscience.
That's us. So anyway, just remember it does close immediately at 6 p.m. atlantafringe.org/vote. And then the third thing that I wanted to, the third thing that I wanted to say is all of the amazing thank yous. So first, thank you so much to this amazing cast. Me doing a big rewrite of the play and to be able to come here, casting everybody, doing all the rehearsals, it happened in less than 4 weeks. So these guys, wow, being able to memorize this script, they've just done an incredible job, and I could not be more pleased to have them share my story. Thank you so much to the Atlanta Fringe Festival, to our volunteers and our crew. They have been so wonderful through this. Our sponsors, Metropolitan Studios, for allowing us to use their rehearsal space, and also Savage Pizza did sponsor our opening night with pizza. So I know I'm missing something, guys.
Well, we used to be supposed to tell people to see other shows, but there's no other shows.
I know! It's not the last show.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I didn't miss anything. But yes, we do have the closing night party tonight, so if you feel so inclined, come out, have a drink with us, and enjoy. Thank you again so much for coming.